So you would make that one maroon so that when you click on it, it would bring up a randomized page of all the...
You guys have got it!
Lecture.
You guys have got it!
Drink.
And also, like, drink, for instance. You'll see, like...
Drink.
Drink, fart, fish. Those are all also nouns. You want to use, like, golf could also go into some category, like, you want to play some golf. Like, these are also nouns. If you go into the noun, you'll see that I've got them in there too.
Drink.
You want to use as many different ways as possible. If you've got anything that'll work in multiple categories, make sure you do that, because you want to make this bottom section and the top section here as you know, as rich as it can possibly be. So
Hit me with a toaster.
like, talk could actually be a noun too, because you can have a talk with somebody, so I would put that in there. So anyway, that's how you get the precursors into this top section. Now that you know that, I can show you the top section. I already showed you how to add stuff by holding control down.
Roses.
There, cute.
There. Bye. Give us one more chance.
Now if they're black, that means that they're parts of speech that you've added either from here, here, or right here, and I'll get to this section later. But when you hit randomize, whatever category they were when you inserted them, they'll be the same category, but it'll just pick a different selection.
Genius!
Wheelchair.
Lady!
Drink. Baked potatoes.
So you can click on them to play them, or you can click play and it'll play everything in the slot.
Baked potatoes.
Back!
Messages. Dead hands. Soap.
And that's useful sometimes for if you want to make sentences. Now, you can either pick the exact precursor and or noun or whatever that you want.
You guys have got an ad!
So I'm going to hold control down,
You want
and there it is. And then I'll pick a specific noun,
a cup of coffee?
and that's how you close this purple thing right here. So if you click play,
You want a cup of coffee?
and then if you click randomize, it'll be another singular noun precursor and another singular noun.
They got a vacation.
You guys have got a
Studio.
You guys have got an ad with a
VCR.
So you can make a whole bunch of sentences that way. The other way that you can add stuff to this top section is by clicking these. Those little circle buttons inside of each part of speech category correspond to whatever they're next to. So for this, it's just a random precursor for singular nouns, random noun, random precursor for plural nouns, random plural noun. So you can just add a bunch of stuff that way. And then when you randomize them, they're all still the same category that they were before. They're just different words. So that's pretty neat, but not particularly useful unless you have some way of saving it. Before I get to the saving, you can also select it so that some of them don't randomize by clicking the random button and then clicking on them.
They got a...
And I'll just do it. I'll do it with all the precursors.
But I have.
As always. We wanted to...
Oh yeah, very important. If you want the board to know that it's a precursor, you have to have at least one underscore underneath it. That's how the board knows that it's a precursor, unless it's in one of these. You can put stuff that doesn't have a precursor, but that's pretty much just the S and Q buttons. Everywhere else on the board, if you have a precursor, it has to be one that has a slash at the end, or an underscore at the end. Anyway, so now when I exit the randomizing, selecting randomize thing, and if I go and I hit the randomize button, you'll see that the only ones that get randomized are the black ones. And that's just another thing that you can do. Now, so far I've just showed you adding stuff from the parts of speech from here and here. You can also,
Body. Roses.
if you click on these and hold control down,
You guys have got an ad with what I have.
Body.
even though it brings up a page of precursors, when you release the mouse over the top of
You
one,
have fathers.
it'll still add the one that was underneath it.
But I have.
Pleasure. Welcome to our stock. You want a fart?
Okay, so I've showed you how to add the parts of speech. Now if you click on anything that isn't a part of speech, like these,
You might be loser. Son of a slip. Dingle.
Yep, you're not...
Go out here.
you'll see that they're purple, and that's just to show you that it's something that wasn't from, it's not a part of speech basically. So if you hit randomize, they don't randomize, because There's nothing to randomize. It's just an individual MP3. You can also add stuff from inside pop-up by holding control down and releasing a mouse.
What's wrong with it?
As long as it's okay with my doctor.
Okay, so like I said before, that's not particularly useful unless you have some way of saving it. Now, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can either click Set Main, and whatever you've got up in this top section here, if you replace it by clicking a different
You're angry.
scenario, you can either click back, or if you
Type something, will you?
click a bunch of stuff in a row,
Am I upsetting you, princess? You're angry. Am I upsetting you, princess?
you can always get back to what you had in there before. If you clicked Set Main, it's right here on the main button. So there's that. So there's that. You can also do the same thing for business. Like if I load up a business page and I have a inside the BizWords folder, if I have a configuration from the top section saved, you hit BizWords and it loads up what you have. I'll get to that in a little bit later, but the whole point of showing you this is that I wanted to, like if you go inside the Me pop-up, you'll see there's a yellow one in there. And if I release the mouse over it, it brings up this.
I sail. Did I tell you? I sailed on my first try. I went diving.
So this is what I primarily use this top section for. These used to all be inside of this pop-up right here, underneath here. You can see there's a big gap in there now. They all used to be in there. And, you know, while this individual MP3 is definitely something weird about him, you don't necessarily want all this other junk about sailing in there. So how else are you going to have all that sailing stuff if you don't want to have it all taking up space inside of a totally unrelated pop-up? You can just have the main thing or something and set it so that it loads this top section. Now the way you save a top section, I'll just put a bunch of stuff. Click the clear button if you want to get rid of everything. Select the slot you want to add to. I'll just
You know what I mean? Seriously.
add a bunch of stuff here.
Promise me? What's wrong?
About what?
It's got to be done right now.
Okay, so how you save that is you click the create button, and when you do, it automatically saves everything that you've got in this top section to your computer's clipboard. So I hit create and go to the strings folder. Ignore all the Z's. I just put all those Z's there so that if you have it sorted by name, it's always going to be here at the bottom. So you just go in there, create a new text file. Don't worry about naming it yet. Go in there and then you click paste. It's going to be everything that's on your clipboard. And that's all the stuff that's in the top section, and save it. So far all you've got is you've got this top section saved, but you don't have it associated with anything. So that's what we're going to do now. So what you want to do is you want to go inside whatever pop-up you want to launch this top section. Like I'll just put it in here, and I'll just make it this one. Is it something I said? Just make it yellow. Click on it.
Something I said.
Save it. And now you want to name your text file exactly the same as the text that's on that button. So we're going to go back in there, release the mouse over the top of it,
Something I said.
and you get your MP3 is displayed up here in this message box. Just click the actual text, just not the MP3 extension, and then go back in there and rename your text file exactly the same. Now when you load up
You're angry.
that new string loader that you just made,
Something I said.
and then you get these. So that's extremely useful. Like for instance on the Jackboard, I have inside this pop-up loader, I have
For your information.
the entire scene from the end of A Few Good Men, where Jack has that big rant about you can't handle the truth and all that. I have the entire scene up here at the top, just one thing after another. And that's just from clicking one thing inside of the Appreciate Earned
There is a
pop-up.
major network interested in me.
So you can see how useful that would be, because it basically expands the power of all of your pop-ups by, you know, exponentially. Not exponentially, whatever. You can have as many MP3s up here as will fit, obviously. But it's really useful for stuff like that, for just...
Please, I'm a sailor?
I sail. I sail now? Did I tell you? I sailed on my first try.
I'll actually load up the Jackboard so I can show you what I'm talking about. I don't have the picture in there, but you'll see what I'm talking about here.
You ever served in an infantry unit, son? Ever served in a forward air? Put your life in another man's hands?
So yeah, you can see I've got a whole bunch of these yellow ones in there.
Fucking people. You have no idea how to defend a nation. You put people's lives in danger. Are you all right? Sure you're okay?
Stop it.
Sick.
Okay.
You all right?
Okay, you'll be all right.
Go ahead.
Where were we?
Where? I forget everything.
I don't want to break your rib.
Well, that part I was
Masturbating spiders? Baby. Sugar.
So yeah, you can see how that really comes in handy, having extra stuff available. It's basically like